Insulin resistance is not visible like breaking our arms or legs, and the battles are often invisible. But these battles are real and we fight it every day. Now, have you ever felt like having a chronic illness or a health condition like insulin resistance is like having a double bind? On one hand, we need to do so much more to reclaim our health, but it's precisely the time when we have less energy, and knowing the solutions may not be enough. Sometimes, even though when we know what is good for us, we might know exactly what to do, what to eat, but it's still not enough because it's hard to be consistent with the implementation. Now, imagine if we could remove the stress, the fear, the guilt out of eating healthy. It'd be awesome, right? If you've struggled before to stay consistent with healthy eating, I understand it's hard. But I'm here to tell you that we can do it. We just need to find the right guidance and help to move forward. So when it comes to healing through sustainable, long-term, healthy lifestyle, here's the third secret in this series. And the third secret is building systems and structures. Hi, I'm Pauline. In the last decade, I've been on two journeys, realizing my dreams of completing my PhD, my research, and my journey with chronic illness. And I've been able to make progress in both of them. I've been able to feel better, get off medications through a healthy lifestyle, and I was able to do this while completing my research, which is another long journey with chronic stress and high pressure. Balancing progress on both health and dreams was tough, of course. And as you know, it can be quite easy to miss out on the little joys when we are chronically stressed or chronically ill and constantly pressured for more with no time left for ourselves. And I'm on my journey of experimenting, learning, but I've also been able to capture the little moments of joy and happiness that life brings. Now, this was possible through a consistent, healthy lifestyle, and I'm going to share with you my adventures, and on this channel, I'm going to take with you on my journey. Going back to the main point, the real game changer for me was building systems and structures. For me, these systems are like guiding principles or core values that keep me steady. I like to call it building my boat. This idea of boat comes from the teachings of Thich Nhat Hanh, and it just clicked for me. Now, before these systems, I felt like a stone. You just throw a stone in the water and it sinks. But when you build a boat, you can carry so much more, even the weight of life's challenges. For me, this boat was about making healthy eating and a balanced lifestyle feel natural, not forced. So instead of relying on willpower alone, I set up systems that supported me even on my busiest days. Life still happened, storms still came, and yes, I got wet, but I stayed afloat, kept moving toward my destination, and found myself actually enjoying the process. Now, the best part, it eased my stress and it gave me so much confidence that no matter what happens, I knew that I'd be able to find my way back to balance my healthy lifestyle. So I'm going to share with you 3 secrets about building these systems and structures. They will help you make sticking to healthy eating simpler without feeling guilty or frustrated. And I know what you're probably thinking. You probably tried researching, you probably tried doing it before already many times and making your meal plans and did grocery shopping to eat healthy when you could. But like me, when life happened, a stressful deadline came by and all your efforts crumbled. And this may not even be your first time going over. And it's not your fault if you've tried and failed before. When we research, there's so much confusing information out there. It can be quite overwhelming and can keep us from reaching our goals. But again, I'm going to show you a great way that you can take to prioritize your health, get back up and turn your frustrations into moments of growth and get amazing results. So the first secret is find the core principles to what you're actually trying to achieve. The big idea here is to let go of having to decide every little thing. Now, this is important because you won't have decision fatigue whenever you try to do things, and that's half the battle won. When I first started healthy eating, I thought I had to eat separate meals from my family. The diet plan was new to me. I was kind of obsessing over every small details like should I eat this food or should I not? And there was so much of confusion. Even when I found some hacks about what breakfast to eat, it would soon become monotonous. And my doctor had even referred me to a nutritionist, and some of the diets I got from her were quite incompatible to everyday eating. And this is not to say that nutritionists are wrong. Not all nutritionists are the same. They have different approaches. But then when I researched and learned the core principles of food that nourish us, then I was able to enjoy my meals with my family and friends, and I didn't have to be stressed around food every time. So the core point is, rather than only looking at individual items, try to understand the reason behind the choice or that item. What are the main principles? And so I've developed this healthy eating strategy quiz you can take to find your eating strategy score. The quiz makes it easy for you to start your own systems. It helps you evaluate your current approach to healthy eating, and it will reveal your strengths and also areas that you might want to build on. And I, who is also on a healing journey, who has been able to regain health and a certain quality of life that good health brings through my own systems, well, I do this. So when I need to jumpstart, I use these key insights from the quiz to quickly get into action. You can do the same. Take the quiz. The link is in the description below. The second secret to getting it done is to create the right environment for you. The main thing to understand here is to create the path of least resistance. Make it as easy as possible. Now, this means you're not dependent upon your motivation every time and things just flow. Like, think about brushing your teeth. You don't think twice about it because your toothbrush and your toothpaste are always right there on the bathroom counter, ready for you. Imagine if you had to hunt for your toothbrush every time, every day, digging through drawers or searching different rooms. You'd probably skip brushing more often than not. Now, without creating a supportive environment for yourself, you will find it hard to get your good food in regularly. Now, creating a supportive environment also means preparing your mind. Sometimes it means pausing for reflection to see where you are and where you need to adjust with your eating strategy. If you tried something and it didn't work, then take a few minutes to understand why it didn't work. It's only then you can start tweaking your efforts to take action in the right direction. The quiz I've created for you is based on my own lessons, experiments, and reflections from trials and errors, and use it to save yourself the time and the pain that I went through. The link is in the description below. The third secret to building systems and hence staying consistent with eating the right food for insulin resistance is to actively create time. However, make sure that time you make for yourself is not forced. For instance, I was rapidly getting into a sedentary lifestyle when I was starting my research, and I knew that I wanted to get in my exercise. I used to think that I was not disciplined enough to get in fresh food or exercise because I was so busy all the time. So I made appointments with coaches, and they were great. I learned a lot from them, and one of my coaches was so great, but then they were expensive. As a graduate student, I couldn't afford to keep having sessions with my coaches throughout the year. So when my sessions with my coach was over, I was back to square one. Now, I didn't stop right away, of course. I tried running, going to the gym, but they were not as regular and sustained as I would have liked to. Then during my dissertation writing, I managed to deeply understand what creating time and prioritizing my well-being actually means. And that's when it all clicked. Coaches and support systems are great, are wonderful, they are very important, but I also realized that it's not only their responsibility to keep me going. I needed to take responsibility for myself. And for that to happen, I had to make that space not only in that calendar, but also in my mind for myself. I needed to value the time I spent for myself as equally important and valid. When I looked at time management in terms of values, not in terms of minutes, hours, days, but what is important, that's when things became easy for me. I was able to be regular with my exercises and healthy eating. And even during the toughest times, this attitude helped me get back up. I could see and believe that I could do it. Then I didn't feel like I was having to choose between pursuing my dreams and my healing journey. Now, I know what you're thinking. My life is so stressful and I'm so busy. It's hard to find time to do all these, to create my structures and systems. Well, the tricky thing is that unlike other repeated daily tasks, you only need to create the system once and probably tweak it now and then when you can. But once you get the system going, it's 10 times easier to implement intentions of eating the right kind of foods for your health without decision fatigue. You don't have to keep faltering. Creating your systems and structures is an investment that pays off in the long run. How do you make an important investment in your journey to healing and health? Take action now. Don't wait for that perfect moment, because our imperfect steps are still inching us forward. Start by taking the quiz to see your healthy eating strategy score to jumpstart your journey. and the link is in the description below. I know it's easy to feel stuck waiting for that perfect time to start, but trust me, even small imperfect steps can lead to big changes. Now imagine planting a tree. Now you don't wait for the perfect weather. You start with what you have, because every small effort, like watering it, helps it grow stronger over time. The same goes for your health and healing journey as well. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start eating healthy. Those imperfect steps are like drops of water nurturing your progress. Take the first step today by taking the quiz to find a healthy eating strategy score. The link is in the description below. Now that you know the key to being consistent with eating healthy food for your health, you still need to reflect on what actions you might want to take, but how do you do that? Well, it starts with watching this next video. See you there.